can you think of like one big question that any investor would need answered?
The most important thing to any investor that's going to invest in your business is it's not so much, I don't know if it's in the form of a question or answer. It's more, investors invest in people. You know, like you can have the most amazing slide deck, pro forma, like all this stuff on paper that looks amazing. But at the end of the day, the X factor is the person. So the investor is investing in an individual, not a business idea or not a pro forma or not a fancy looking slide deck. I mean, in all honesty, like it's good to put that stuff together more so for you personally. So you've more well thought out your idea and, you know, can talk about it more eloquently. But investors are investing in the person. And so like I have a tech venture I'm involved in, and we've had about half a dozen people invest in it, individual angel investors. One of them put in $750,000. I didn't even have a slide deck. So like he invested in it because of me. And I asked every single person that invested in this tech venture, why did you invest? And they said, I have faith in you. I have faith that you're going to be able to get it done. So I think the slide decks and pro formas and all that's like good for you as an owner to like vet it out and to do your own research so that you know you're heading in the right direction. But you know, every business like can take so many, you know, right turns and left turns and evolve in so many different ways, and a product can start out looking like this and then radically change to something totally different, you know, 2 years later. But it's like the right person, the right operator, if you will find a way to win. That's the bottom line. The right person will find a way to win. And all these slide decks and pro formas are just in the early stage when the business doesn't have customers, it's just a bunch of BS. So I'm not saying don't do it. Build your pro formas, build your slide decks, do your research on what is your potential addressable market. That's honestly one of the biggest things I've personally learned in the last couple years is, you know, I'm like all in on the real estate industry, and I thought the real estate industry was massive. And granted, I'm not talking about like the physical assets of real estate. I'm talking about the people in the real estate industry. There's actually not that many people on a macro level in real estate. Like there's 2 million people. Like it's a lot. That's a lot of people, but it's, you know, like for example, in the small to medium business sector, you know, like basically all the entrepreneurs and solopreneurs out there, there's 63 million of them. You know, that's like a massive market. If you have a product or service that you're marketing to 2 million people versus a product or service that can be marketed to 63 million people, like which one's going to be bigger? You know, I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So, you know, something investors look at is what's called the PAM, the potential addressable market. So I think that's something important for entrepreneurs to pay attention to. I mean, if you want to get really tactical for the purposes of this video, something else that investors want to see is what is the cost to acquire a customer? Like how much money in advertising or how much money in people do you have to spend to acquire a new customer? And then what's the lifetime value of that customer? If you know that formula, like, you know way in advance if you're going to win or lose, because you take the lifetime value of the customer, subtract the client acquisition cost and your cost of selling that good service or product. And if you're in the positive, and you have a big potential addressable market, like you're going to win. And if you have a big potential addressable market, you could win really big.